Welcome
to the Bring Me to Life podcast.
It's time to wake up
and shine on. Hello, thanks for tuning in to the Bring Me to Life podcast. I'm Shannon Shine.
Hello, everyone. I am Siloman.
Yeah. So we've been using this podcast as kind of just like a safe place to just talk about our stories and
spirituality,
the awakening, how we got into this path. Previously in this podcast, we've interviewed so many cool people.
Yeah, there's 100+ episodes before all this
of people doing awesome things that have also went through their awakening. So if you've been having fun listening to our journey and you're just kind of getting into it, I highly suggest checking out some of the previous episodes where we've talked to awesome other people.
It's pretty hilarious to go back and like look how far we've grown and come.
Yep, 5 years since I've been a part of it. So that's pretty awesome.
Still got kind of like I'm going for a similar hairstyle, but with braids.
Yep, you've always been very expressive with your hair.
I mean, I just love self-expression, period. And I've learned that's like one of my life's purpose.
I've been focusing a lot on the throat chakra, and that is actually, for those that don't know, the throat chakra is not just like speaking and using your voice, but also like your self-expression, which is deeply connected to your sacral chakra. I'm doing a lot of chakra research lately and like connections with my course and my cruise that I've been
doing a lot of courses online.
Yeah.
Check her out, shantessicshine.com.
But I've been really loving this chakra one. Like
the chakra one, people are really, it seems like everyone who's like really tuned into it and is like actively participating, their lives are changing.
They told me that today. I was doing my live call, and at the very end of it, all of the ladies were like, this has changed my life. And I'm like, we're not even done yet. This is so beautiful. And I learn something as I go through it each time too, because I'm like, I don't want to stop learning. I never know everything.
It's cool when people share like what they're learning too.
Yeah, I love sharing what
Community.
I learn. Community. That's great discussion. Let's talk about building our community and how that's something that is important to do when you start going through your spiritual awakening.
Like the vibe that you send out attracting your tribe.
Yeah, we kind of touched on that towards the end of our last podcast.
Yeah.
Just like we talked a lot about how we got to where we're at now,
right.
But like the point of where our friends are starting to be into this kind of stuff too. Yeah. Even some of our friends we didn't expect, some of our family, some families still really weird about it. They cannot wrap their heads around it.
Definitely.
But they still love us.
In the end, yeah, if your parents are giving you a hard time, it's probably because they love you.
And they just don't understand.
They don't know how to express it, or they don't know how to understand where you're coming from.
And I think that's part of the awakening and building your community too, is connecting with people and the parts of them that you do connect on, and just allowing people to have a difference in opinion. Like I connect, like in my class even, we've been talking about like spirit guides and spirit animals, and like for a while I was studying all this stuff and it was saying like this animal represents this, that, and the other, and I'm like, but this animal represents this to me. And like we all can like agree that we can all agree to disagree. Like for me, I have a series of specific animals that represent things to me, but theirs is completely different.
Right. That's what it said in one of my dream books. It was like, if you have a dream book and it tells you exactly what each symbol represents, then you might as well throw it out, because it could mean something different to you. And that's why it's hard to say specifically like this means this, and life is subjective. So as we talk about all this shit, just remember that like it's coming from our subjective viewpoints.
And that's what I love about the spiritual community. Like in the religious community, it's very like, this is how it is. You follow this set of rules. You follow this set of ideas.
Yeah.
And in the spiritual community, it's like, oh, wow, you believe that? That's awesome. I believe this. And we can connect somewhere in the middle. And that's why we were brought together, to learn this new thing. Oh, maybe I will like consider that. There's not necessarily this completely closed offness when people are fully beginning to like realize that it's an experience for everyone. I know when I first got into my awakening, I was very like, oh, this is one way. Like we all reincarnate, like everyone must believe this or no one believes it. And then it's like, well, you know, that's just not some people's life. Maybe some people really don't reincarnate. Maybe this is their first round.
Yeah. I think I feel like I've met people who are like newborn humans.
Yeah, where they've just like completely released whatever they were in so many lifetimes before that they've just like been their new seeds. Like I'm a believer in like energy can't be created or destroyed. So like at some point though, if you've learned all the lessons, you kind of have to start over too, and you get that fresh slate. So, but that's like my belief system. So if someone else doesn't believe that, I don't care. Like that's fine.
Yeah, it's all good. So we're talking about the community, like vibe, attracting tribe.
Sorry, I get off topic.
No, I think it's cool, but I'm just trying to remember.
Yeah. So vibe and attracting tribes. Yeah, that's basically what we were going for. Like, so when you started your awakening, you realized that you needed people that also were at least willing to listen to some of the things that you were going through.
Basically,
so you could connect.
The reason why I made the YouTube series was to bring people together who were going through similar awakenings. And I got a little bit of interaction. I had somebody who they were like, they wanted to go with me, and at the last second ditched. And I just wanted to be kind of like, I don't know, a movement or something of people coming together, being awakened to spiritual everything and just life in general and, you know, all of it.
The challenge that is life.
Right.
We've kind of got that going with the Bring Me to Life challenge. You can join us there in the group for that part.
Yeah. But everybody that I've met since, like, holding steady with this kind of mission has been like solid. Like all the people that I've introduced you to that you talked about in the last podcast. Awesome. Yeah. And those are all people that I've like met on random trips and stuff.
You've had a lot of random trips throughout your experience. You've got a lot of traveling on you.
Yeah. I just think it's like community, this earth I think is a community. And borders are all illusions to keep us controlled. And yeah, so I like to travel and meet new people and experience different things because I try to have an open mind because that's how we learn. And
so you started building your community by traveling and realizing that you could connect with these people. And they didn't think you were crazy for wanting to talk about like angels and channeling.
Right. Like the second season that got lost, the lost season. That's where I met basically everybody in Detroit that I have introduced you to. Everybody, like most of the Michigan tribe.
That started through a group called Starseeds? Or no?
Yeah, basically it did.
And that's how we kind of know. That's how Ashton came into our reality in this dimension.
Yeah.
Shout out to Ashton, Spaceship Earth. So he created a group called Starseeds where people started, he was building a solid community there for a little bit.
Absolutely. That was a good one.
It kind of took a life of its own, I think, at some point.
Yeah.
And it wasn't just him. It was like a group of people started this.
Well, he was like the Kzoo Tribe. And it's funny because like I met Nick Bryce, who's from Detroit, and like Breezy at 3DL, which it was a really awesome experience. But it's funny because like the people that I've met and on those random travels have somehow like met like Ashton from Kalamazoo and like and gotten. It's funny to see like how
this random town called Kalamazoo that I thought was fake but is actually real.
Kalamazoo, Michigan.
Oh, wow. So
got a lot of cool people. So it's just funny to see how much of an inner circle or just like how small this world can be sometimes, because our tribe, our soul tribe is what we like to call it, is just like you can tell because somebody comes into the community regardless of like from what direction. Like, I
mean, I'm here and I'm in Maryland. I just went to the wrong M state in my like reincarnation.
Yeah.
But it's crazy. So just talking about that, it shows how there's different dimensions that lead us to our soul tribe, because I've talked about how it's super intuitive. While you're hanging out with this tribe you call the Kzoo Tribe, I'm down here in like Maryland, Pennsylvania, And I'm like getting these like downloads and I'm like, I don't understand what this means. I'm like downloading that I'm supposed to have these friends. And I literally got the message like Kzoo, and I'm hanging out with a different crew that call themselves the Zoo crew. They're amazing. They're cool. They've saved me. You've met them, which is funny. But I think it's interesting how spirit was still trying to like channel that to me. So you're being called to this Kalamazoo crew. That's a nice community. I've met a lot of cool people there.
Yeah. Well, like, so there's a person in there that like helped Ashton with it, Katie, and I have known her since like middle school. And somehow her and Ashton were like roommates, and like,
and just magically
started this group together.
A series of magical events.
Yeah, and then it's funny because a bunch of other people that we've all met at separate times and locations come into the circle. But I met Ashton in person for the first time right after the lost season in 2012 when Nick and I came home finally.
Which is interesting because I'm also realizing as we started interviewing all these other people, I'm getting their stories, and at the same time, they're starting to like wake up and finding these other segments of tribes, and it's like activating all over. And now we've talked about how it comes in waves. So people that are listening to this now are just now starting, well, maybe just now starting to be activated too. And you're starting to find those friends. And I hope you follow those spiritual connections, because it's important to have these people in your life.
It's really cool to see when like, so like we go our separate locations, like Nick Bryce, or he goes by Orion now, or Ashton, Colorado, or whatever. Like our inner tribe goes out and connects to more communities, and it's funny, they bring in like really cool people, and it's just funny and awesome to see like the type of support and community that each individual like establishes with their respective expressions, whether it's like I do a lot of meditation videos and stuff, and you do a lot of jewelry and art and all kinds of stuff.
Yeah, and I have so many communities. So I think that I got the message early in life that it was important to build community, because even in school, I never really attached to the stigma of wanting to be in one friend group. I thought it was important to like get to know all the people and see all the different perspectives. So I think that's really important too, is to not lock yourself into one stereotype. Like, yeah, just because you get into yoga, don't just stick with just the yogis. Like, go out there and explore the spiritual world. Like, it's so easy when you start awakening to get sucked into one portal. I think it's important to allow yourself to not be like, oh, now I'm a Wiccan, or oh, now I'm a Buddhist. Build your community with diversity.
But I think people can be diverse and still believe and have like the same kind of why that you do. Like, I feel like a lot of us want to just help like build a community of open-minded spiritual people.
Right.
And I think that's awesome. So we're all like connecting together on this podcast. Like everybody who's listening and downloading, like you're part of it. I know you're building a community somewhere.
You that listens.
We're going to acknowledge you. Hooray.
Where are you listening? Who are you listening? Like, leave us some love somewhere on any of the social media, so we know that you are part of the Soul Tribe. We want to know about these experiences. Like, that's why we created the Bring Me to Life challenge.
And,
Bring Me to Life community,
people together to like share. So
to help bring you to life.
Come. Yeah. So, do you have any suggestions, like, for how to go about, like, sending out the right kind of vibe for a tribe? How do people do that?
I straight up, like, I tell the universe, but for me, it was a very, like, spiritual thing. Like, when I finally broke and was just ready to call in my tribe, I made a list of like, I wanted friends that understood me. I wanted open-minded people. I wanted teachers and students, like people that knew that they were still learning. And I just told the universe that like I was ready to call in that community. And I actually I went through some like a grieving process. My really allowing myself to have the support system I have in the community I have spiritually came from me basically losing my grandmother and finally being like, you know what? I deserve to be supported and understood. And I was like house sitting at the time, and I went down to a water place. So this is my suggestion. Go to somewhere that feels sacred to you. if you're just ready to call in that spiritual tribe, go to a place that feels sacred to you and declare it to the universe that you're ready. You're ready to show up and to be that community member. I think that's when I got the download that part of my mission is to be somebody I needed when I was younger. And that doesn't just mean for younger people. Like, I'm who I needed when I was younger for people that are so much older than me. And that's how I build my community is I don't see age. I don't see color. Like, I don't see sexuality preference or whatever. Like, my community, to me, that's what I want in my community. Your community might be different, but whatever it is, I want you to like go find a place that feels sacred to you, whether that's water, like it was for me, a field, a church, if that's what you need, that's fine. Like a spiritual place for you.
Spiritual place to go to.
And declare it.
And declare it. So what are some ways that you can declare it?
I like to speak from personal experience. So I like put out my crystals that I felt really connected to. I lit a candle. I burnt what I no longer wanted in my life.
Chopping the microphone.
Chopping. I burnt what I no longer wanted in life, and I made a list of everything that I wanted.
So when you say you no longer wanted in life, or was that like writing down on a piece of paper?
Yeah, I wrote it down.
A list of items. And
I safely burned it. Like I legit had like a cast iron thing that I burned it into, almost
cauldron.
Like a cauldron. I guess this is where my witchy face comes in. Yeah, I made sure because I was on land that I didn't want to like harm.
Right.
And I burnt it. And I buried the seed. When I asked the universe,
so the things that you wanted to bring in, you buried it.
Yeah. When I asked the universe for a friend that wouldn't leave. I asked for friends, but one specifically that wouldn't leave and would be there because I had recently like been really disconnected from all of my friends, everybody and everything. I had been dealing with kind of abandonment. I think all humans deal with that.
Absolutely.
But anyway, so if you're feeling that way and you want to call in this community, I'm speaking to you, go to a sacred place, declare what you want and tell the universe that you're ready to show up and be that friend and be willing to be that community member that you need. Show up for someone like you need showed up for. That's how I got my community. And I feel like it takes
action to make a difference sometimes.
And I have such a beautiful community and I keep activating more parts of it. Yeah. I want to give a shout out just because I feel really inspired. Like, I feel like that happens for lots of different places. And recently, like, I've been working with the Chakra crew. But I recently activated a little town called Hollidaysburg.
Yeah.
And
Lynn's awesome.
Yeah, shout out to Crystal Clear Wellness. We're both holding crystals from there, which is kind of funny. Maybe that's why I'm feeling so vibey with it. But but we activated this community. So we've been really stuck in Cumberland and Michigan for a while. And it's important for us to branch out. That's what we want to do with Bring Me to Life. So if you have a place you want us to come, that'd be great. We would love to come activate there. But anyway, so we started activating this community and I just started talking to them and just holding space for all of you guys. And you've been holding so much space for us to just share our gifts and our sound healings and our card readings. And it's been magical.
Really magical.
And like, I was feeling
it's
like...
It's just nice to like have a gift, share it, and people appreciate it.
Yeah. So go out there and share your gifts. That's another way. Like, you want to create your community, find what you're good at.
Up.
What charges you up.
That's
what
why
you're passionate
I could
about.
like 4 hours of sound healing. Because it was charging me up.
Or even like podcasting. Like we started meeting other podcasters and stuff like that too. And like people that do music. And that's all things that I want in my community. What do you want in your community?
And it's coming at you. There's a saying and it says what you are seeking is also seeking you. So
yeah. Like, do you want more people that do yoga in your life? Declare it. Do you want more people that will not drink with you every weekend? Because that seems to be a thing that a lot of people are trying to get out of when they come to spirituality too, is releasing the attachment to those extracurriculars. Like if you want friends that don't drink every weekend so that you can tune in and meditate, declare it, because that's what I did.
It's important. It's so important to have those days.
Yeah.
Because it's like, you just can't go on and on and on like that. You need a ground. It's like the equilibrium, basically. It's like when you're sober, you're like in the equilibrium and you know what that is. And the longer you stay out of that, the harder it is to tell what it is. That's what
and sometimes people get sucked in these communities that don't serve them. And or they've been friends with the same people since high school. I've got friends I've had from high school, but I've watched them evolve. I've watched them either open up or declare that they don't want a part of a certain type of lifestyle, and that's okay, and I'm still friends with them.
I've had multiple people recently from my high school say, I enjoy your meditations.
Isn't that cool?
It is really cool.
People that you never thought would be into it because you're willing to put yourself out there.
Yeah.
That's another thing to help build your community.
You're putting yourself out there.
Tell the world who you are. Are you weird? That's okay. We're weird.
It's okay. Yeah, I will say you will find like so many people who are into the same kind of things you are. It's everywhere.
But you also find people that have been through the same thing.
Been through the same things, who are maybe have a different perspective, but still open-minded as you enough to like have a good conversation to where you both can like learn from each other.
And sometimes you got to get out of that circle that you've been in for a long time to have that like kind of connection.
Yes. If you ever heard, you got to get uncomfortable, or you got to get comfortable being uncomfortable. Yep. That is a real thing, because
that's another one of my major downloads.
Did one of those recently.
Oh, yeah?
It was great.
Getting comfortable being uncomfortable?
Yeah.
Oh.
Doing the wedding.
Oh, yeah. We've been DJing weddings. That's been fun.
Yeah.
We've spent most of our summer DJing weddings. I photographed one.
Yeah.
That was your sister's. That was awesome.
Mm-hmm. But like,
congrats, sister.
That's something kind of nerve-wracking, because it's somebody's wedding and you want it to go well. So like to start to do that was like, ooh. But I feel good now. One thing Ashley DeFresno says is that each time you put yourself out there and get uncomfortable, you're strengthening your confidence.
Yeah, Carla talks about that too. Carla Sampson. I did a course with her, and it was pretty good. Yeah. It helped me through a time in my life I needed some grounding. Oh, yeah. I like to do courses when I need grounding, and they've helped.
That's good.
Yeah. It's exciting. That's another way I build my community, though, is like,
yeah, like you could go to events and stuff, and like once you make that call, you make that declaration, you're gonna put yourself out there, go to events, maybe things that you've wanted to do that you're a little scared, maybe.
Something that really sped my I want to be open with it, like something that really sped up my awakening was going to music festivals. But I want to put like a disclaimer there, and be like, transformational festivals, you need to go to something that's like, I suggest going to retreats. Music festivals was like, because I was kind of hood smart or like street smart, I needed the music festival lean into it to not think that
music festivals are great.
Yeah.
But some of the situations, the bathroom and like,
yeah,
it can be grungy.
Sketchy.
It can be grungy.
Yeah.
A little bit. But yeah, I think
go to retreats
would be sweet.
Yeah. Go to transformational events.
But some people are okay with getting grungy and dirty.
I'm an artist, so I went because I love live art. I love seeing people, like I was really fascinated with seeing people paint to music and make a living.
And that is awesome.
I'd been
Christopher Morphus.
Yeah, I was painting to music in my house and then taking it to galleries, and I wanted to like connect. That's how I built my community. I wanted to meet more artists that were like, oh, instead of playing music at our house, why don't we hang out with the musicians? I made friends with all the musicians because I was like, well, I play your music at my house anyway. Why don't I just like introduce myself to you? And then like, you'll be surprised how many musicians are pretty down to earth.
A lot of them will be, but just be careful. Be careful, like idolizing people, like we were talking about last podcast.
Yeah, I've had a few disappointments, no names, just like disappointments where I really like loved a musician or an artist or somebody in the spiritual community, because I was just waking up and I was like, oh, this person just really is on it. Yeah. And then I met them and I realized they were a human, and they're living their experience too. We all have darkness
and the light in us.
Yeah.
But
so you can get let down. The spiritual community is not all like cotton candy rainbows, but it's still like a really beautiful community, and follow your gut. Yeah.
And if those people are poopy in person, just listen to their music maybe, or find other music that you meet in person and they're awesome. Like Jason Mraz.
Oh, I love me some Jason Mraz.
I know, he's fucking great.
Yes. We went to one of his concerts once for my birthday. It was probably the best adventure I've ever been on.
Hands down, best concert I've ever been to.
Best adventure too. We went crystal hunting.
Oh yeah.
And yeah, so that's slightly getting off track. We're actually doing pretty good here.
It's like Yeah. So you got to take a break sometime.
Jason Mraz, I loved it.
He's got a great community.
Yeah, he is a community builder.
Oh yeah.
And not only that, he's taken his fame from being a musician. So he was like I think he started on like Disney or something.
Right. He was young when he got like, up there.
And and then he had that one song like Remedy, and then I didn't hear about him for a while, and then he came back, and I was like, oh, this guy is in it. He is in tune. Like, he's having a tour called Good Vibes. They were like theatrical. It was amazing.
The lyrics are great too. Like, most of his lyrics are amazing.
I love it. And if you just listen to him talk once in a while, he's probably one of my like
so funny
speaker inspirations.
So funny. Yeah.
Shout out Jason. If you ever listened to this, that'd be so cool. Building that community.
Somebody help us get it to
reaching
Jason.
out. He has like an avocado farm. And
makes avocado desserts.
Yeah. He's got a song called We Fucking Did It, and it's like one of my favorite songs to party to when I feel like I've accomplished things in life. Mm-hmm. So shout out to Jason Mraz. You're on my list of people I'd love to interview. So if you
Great
hear this,
community there.
But yeah, so we went to one of his concerts. It was awesome. That's the kind of musicians I needed to be meeting, because I was meeting some that were also on their awakening path and still learning.
Remember, we're all on the path.
I love it.
We're all on the path.
But so yeah, building your community, go to retreats or something that inspires you if you're really getting into yoga. So I think the thing about the spiritual
kinds
community,
of events. If people just like go and look, all kinds of events in every community.
And Facebook's a ridiculous tool. You can just go to the events section and look it up.
I know.
We post all of our events there. You want to see what events we're doing?
Well,
check that out on Facebook.
There's also community boards and.
Yep, I like putting stickers and information on all of the community boards I can find.
There's so many now that we have to turn down a bunch of them because there's so many. There's so many events.
It's true.
You have your pick.
But I mean, at the same time, though, I'm still trying to do a cross-country tour. So if you're somewhere in the U.S. or even outside of it, actually, I would like to do a tour there so we can talk about this kind of cool stuff.
What about Antarctica?
Talk about chakras. Antarctica?
What about, different country?
If somebody is listening to me in Antarctica, that'd be sweet.
In their, like, hoodies.
Honestly, I think I do better in colder climates. I love the idea of being in a jungle.
Not that cold.
No, not that cold. But I can put on more layers. Like, I can only take so many layers off. I feel like I've lived in many jungles in my past lives, and I'm just like...
Can't take your skin off. Well, not safely. I don't think.
I can meditate myself cooler sometimes.
Yeah. No, that's a real thing.
I know.
Monks, they can like set paper on fire.
Whoa.
It's there's videos of it online right now.
I believe you.
It's a real thing. This monk set paper on fire. He like
telekinesis.
He like electrocute. He like shocked people when they touched him. Like, he could do some crazy stuff. Maybe
we should like make a playlist on Bring Me to Life TV that's just like
crazy videos like that
and stuff we think the universe needs to share or like know about, because that's what they're not talking about in the news. They got us distracted with BS, and we should be knowing that humans out there using telekinesis.
And then we also have music videos, because part of our community has a lot of musicians, so we intertwine cool videos with like music videos.
Oh yeah, we do that thing. It's called Bring Me to Life TV.
Yeah.
People should check that out.
Like back in the day when some, other TV channels had music videos that were great. We're getting back to that.
So we built a community too through that. So we actually made a music video with our friend Ashton like last summer, and we had a community that helped with that. Shout out to our friends Bo and Maria. And because we all came together to make they're getting married. Yeah. So that's like,
Congratulations.
Yeah. I love them ladies. They're great.
They are
like
great.
So I think it's cool. Like, we started making this music video together. Yes. We all kind of disconnected for a while, but now I'm like seeing that happen, and I'm like,
that was that where they basically like, nice.
At least I think so. I could be wrong, too. But I just want to give some like shout outs and love to people. They're beautiful musicians, and like she does photography and things like that.
That's so cool to think about. That was like the last major time we shared with them was making that music video.
Yeah, and they're still a part of the community. That's the other cool thing is like in the spiritual community, I don't like when people ghost. No, I think that happens in all communities. I don't like the ghost, but I also like that a lot of times there's just this mutual understanding that we're all downloading and upgrading, and like
Right, we're all going through shit.
there's a respectful way to disappear and like dip out, and then there's disrespectful ways. Like check in on your friends,
Yeah.
let people know you still love them. When you see people in public, be like nice and not like make weird eye contact and disappear, because some people do that.
It's a human thing, maybe, but emotions can get weird. Like sometimes you just feel so awkward. It's like, I don't know what to do. I don't know how to handle this human situation.
Yeah, it's that's part of navigating it.
Just love
Life.
I'm gotta send more love to everyone.
But I think it's how we build a community too. Is like we hold
loving
space
community.
for people to grow.
Right.
We talk to people about things. We open our throat chakras and communicate.
Life has been better since I've learned to communicate.
Yeah, you've actually like, I feel like you've learned to communicate because you've, one, got grounded, but two, I like that I have this magical power that gets people to just feel
Shannon,
okay to talk.
at the very beginning of the relationship, would follow me
Okay, maybe it's not a superpower. Maybe it's
everywhere I went. It's like, I'm gonna follow you until you tell me.
just like talk about it, dude. Like this is how we're gonna work through things. Like just talk about it.
Yeah.
Hey, it worked. Now you just talk about it. And sometimes you're following me.
Well, yeah. Sometimes
It's
you
how we
do.
work through it.
Yeah, I think some people like myself, I like needed to breathe. But yeah, I'm trying to learn, like, if I need to breathe before I say anything, I can be like, I just need to take a second to breathe.
Yeah. Like, tell me what you're doing. I just want
Give
to
me
know.
let me take a moment to breathe so I can think about this. Because sometimes I really analyze something before I even come out with it. It's part of my, like, programming, I guess.
I know I've been working better at like thinking before speaking, I guess. But like also that's how I channel. It's just like if I think too much about it, then I'm like my ego is going to take over. So I'd rather
gotta
just
get it
like
out.
speak it out.
Yeah.
And that's how people process differently. I'm understanding that like you're a different personality type. And there's many people that are like me that
But
would
the
just
encouragement
rather,
was nice, though, because...
I feel like no one ever listened to you.
Well,
Like you
I mean,
didn't know I wanted to actually hear what you had to say.
sometimes, like, I'm the kind of person who, if somebody wants to dominate a conversation,
Sorry.
then I'm like, sure, go ahead. And if I'm interested in what you're saying, I'll listen. Otherwise, then I'm like, I don't know. Because if you're just talking and not listening, you do good because you actually stop and listen. But there are people who won't listen. And I'm like, well, then, like, if you're not going to listen, then there's nothing for me to say. But also, like, being more of a listener, I absorb more people's perspectives. So I think I take in more than a lot of other people because I like to, listen. But it's something from an early age. Like, I didn't feel like I could express myself for some reason. So, like, anytime my mom or dad were in a conversation, I guess a lot of times I'd try and talk to them and they would get mad at me. So, like, learn from an early age not to interrupt anybody. And, like, it's sometimes you got to respectfully interrupt. And I'm still learning the art of that one.
I like how like your family didn't listen, so it made you quiet. My family didn't listen, so I'm like, dude, you guys need to listen to me.
Well,
like,
I mean, I feel like you had louder influences. I mean, my dad was kind of loud, but he was,
But did I though? Like, my family, like, they're not that loud. Like, they talk to like people once they know 'em.
Yeah, they talk a lot to the people that they know.
But like they don't like the attention being put on them. I am the loudest in my family.
They're not. Yeah, they don't seek attention.
I like they shunned me for a while because I like to.
But your brother though loves attention.
I mean, I'm his role model. I'm his like one of his favorite people. He tells me so, and that makes me feel loved. Now that I'm thinking about it, like, yeah, I've watched my brother do some really cool, awesome things. Shout out to my brother. We're doing all kinds of shout outs today.
Just showing the love because we have great community.
He's building a community. I'm proud of him. Now this is how I know I'm his role model, because I went to Pittsburgh. I screwed up. Like, I didn't screw up. I just got bored with it. Like, it was not my scene at all. I mean, I got with the Christian atheist kid I talked about last time, and he helped me see a lot of life. Anyway, that was not the community for me. They were playing video games.
You learned what you didn't want.
There was actually a lot of theft involved in my college. Like there was people stealing shit and like people you didn't expect.
Weird.
Yeah, like you don't expect.
Sometimes the vibe gets weird and like people do things they don't normally do.
Yeah, it's really like my path has shown me that people are not what you expect them to be, and they can also be like so great at the same time. Like I see definitely the
same
both
people?
parts of people. Yeah,
Okay.
I see beautiful things in some people that others that would not. But anyway. And that's part of community is like holding space for people to show you those beautiful parts of themselves.
But they're just
and
people
also
who don't
witness
resonate.
them. Yeah, there's people that you do not resonate with. But yeah, this is how I know my brother's my
Accept that. Move on.
Huh? Yeah. I'm my brother's role model. He went to Pittsburgh. He's rocking it, going to college, doing the things. And like, regardless if he was rocking it, just the fact that I know he's like out there experiencing life. I'm so proud of him. And he does so many cool things. He's got a girlfriend that he's building a community with.
Yeah.
He's got an Instagram. I'd love to give his Instagram a shout out, but I'll get there one day. We'll get there.
You think he would like the attention?
I'm like I said, I think so. Me and my brother are a lot alike, but the rest of our family just doesn't get us.
Yeah. I feel like
They just don't get us.
a lot of my family is like that. We like super funny and crazy, but not like seeking attention.
Yeah, we definitely are the ones that are willing to put ourselves out there in that way. But we've also had like some of your brothers have like
Took me a long time to open up my egg.
yeah, but we've also had some of your like siblings say that they like really admire what we're doing, and some of them even if they don't understand it, they think it's cool.
Yeah.
But because we've been willing to be so out there with it, some of them have too. Like even in my family, like one of my like cousins that's older, probably in his like 50s, he just recently got like a card reading from like the person that triggered me to realizing I was more psychic than I even thought. I'm like, whoa, you just connected with this person. You're building the same community. Welcome.
Welcome, family.
Yeah, like, yes, my uncles and cousins. Yes, please. And then I found out that my other like cousin is who took him, and she's a massage person. So that's cool that they're like in it, and they're like just waiting for me to talk to them about all the weird things I've been holding back all these years. It's great. It's pretty cool.
Yeah. We're slowly, I mean, not slowly, but we've been building a community for a while, and we've kind of like been finding ourselves too at the same time. And everybody's just kind of, you know, just holding space for us to do our thing.
Yeah. I mean, I guess this is a good podcast to give shout outs to, because we're building that community for them too. And all these people are doing like their own powerful projects.
Absolutely.
And like, I wouldn't have known that until I was in this community. And now I'm just like, wow, these are the doers. Yeah. These are the spiritual people, or the people that want to do something with, like, they're the ones that are crazy enough to think they can. Yeah. Spiritual people are the people that are crazy enough to know that they can make a difference, because so many people are like, oh, I can't actually do anything. Like, why try? And I'm like, and spiritual people are like, spiritual people are like, I don't care if I have one person in my yoga class. Like, I'm inspiring that person, and it's changing my life. Yes. And it's true. Like, I'll go teach a class, and if there's one person there.
I think it's like some of those are really key, because it means a lot to those people. Yeah,
it's probably because that person was so scared that nobody else was like them, that they're like, just give me one person. And then they got that one person. It was me, and I was there, and I've been this beacon for them. And I've made so many really good friends like that. That's like my chakra class right now, or so many of like just powerful people. Man, I love teaching. I love like talking to people and holding space for people.
Yeah. And this is what this is all about. Like this podcast, the project Bring Me to Life, like all of it is being able to hold space for people and build that community of space holders and doers and just open minds and open hearts.
Yeah, I like your method of like traveling and meeting different people in your community. So
it wasn't anything that I thought of. Like I didn't strategize. It was just like natural.
No, that's part of it. Like I didn't strategize meeting you and gallivanting off to Michigan either. Like it was just the universe was like, this is your tribe. Yeah. You'll find your tribe, guys. I guess you don't really have to do much of anything other than being willing to accept that whatever the universe is telling you.
Make that declaration and be open to accepting and following those opportunities that present themselves after that declaration, because it's happening.
I think that's key. Just being willing to follow the universe and build your community and give thanks to them too. Like, tell people why you love them.
Thanks everyone for listening. You're the best.
Yeah. Like, tell people why you love them, because people don't hear it enough. People always wonder, like, why do you love me? Like, one time you told me it was because I made you really good pizza.
It was a joke. Although she does make good pizza.
I know, but that's a good thing to know. Like, now I know that if I need you to love me more, I'll make you some pizza. But it has to be good pizza.
Good pizza. You gotta let the crust rise a little bit.
But you've told me so many reasons that you love me. And I try to tell my friends that I love them. I think that that's something we need to.
So what is one reason? I'll tell you one reason why I love you, besides that you make me pizza.
Oh, yeah?
Another reason why I love you so much is because you always smile at me and hug me and make me feel loved.
Aww. I like letting you know you're accepted and that somebody loves you. Something I love about you is that you hold space for people and you are a listener. That's something I admire in humans that can listen and hold space for people.
Yes.
And I've seen you evolve. I love that I'm always seeing you evolve. I love that about so many people.
Never
too.
Stop improving.
Yeah, like
it's a good motto.
And that's things you should tell people.
Yeah. Never stop improving.
Never stop improving, but tell them why you love them.
There's infinite amount of potential that we all have if we can begin to accept it. Recently we did the DJ wedding stuff, and I put on my post that somebody was asking for Lizzo, and people tagged me in Lizzo videos.
Yeah.
And she was saying in one of her videos, look at yourself every single day in the mirror, and I'm trying to start this habit. Look at yourself every day in the mirror and say, you are strong, you are beautiful, and you can do anything. Yeah. And she says, do it on your good days and especially your bad days, because that shit is like medicine.
Mm-hmm. It is. You're programming and telling yourself that you deserve it.
Yeah.
Don't tell yourself that you don't deserve a community or that you don't deserve friends or that you don't. Like, why would you say what you don't want? You declare what you do want.
There's so many awesome people who are out there that are looking for a friend just like you.
And be that friend.
Be that friend. It's okay to be that friend.
Be the friend and allow them to be your friend. I turned away some good friends because I wasn't ready yet. Like, I look back now and I'm like, oh, there were a couple of people that tried to take me on the spiritual route sooner, but I didn't really have the attention span for it yet. Like, the universe very sneakishly snuck things in there. I liked it, and it kept me inspired. Yeah. So I'm sure many people that once they actually awaken, they've realized their whole life they've been built for this for some reason.
Yeah. I love it. Yeah. Thank you for listening. I want to say one reason why I love everyone who's listening right now is because feeling heard is fucking huge. Yeah. It's you don't understand how big it is to people to just feel heard. Mm-hmm. So thank you, listeners, for allowing us to feel heard. I love you.
We do love you. We want to hear from you. We want to know where you're listening. We want to know
where you at,
how you built your community. Maybe you have a community. Where's a community we should check out? I love meeting the Crystal Clear Wellness community. That's true, yeah. What are other communities that would welcome us and think that it's awesome that there's a couple out here doing this trying to inspire others.
Beyond this, we do sound healing. There's a lot of stuff that will continue to progress our podcasting into.
Yeah, we want to build a community. You can join us. We have a group on Facebook. It's the Bring Me to Life Challenge, or it might just be hashtag Bring Me to Life Challenge. If you go to our Facebook, we've been slacking on Facebook. We're getting better. We're going to get better. We're getting better at Facebook. We're getting better at all things.
Oh, yeah.
But you can find it through our Facebook page, our website.
Better. And if you are somebody who wants to help and you like to post on social media, maybe you can help us out.
You want to see us post more things? Make it worth our time. Respond to us. Share it. Comment. Because we want to know that we're being heard, and we want you to know that there's people out here that want to make content to help you realize how awesome you are. You're awesome. You don't have to listen to content that makes you feel any less awesome. We want you to believe in yourself. We want you to wake up. We want you to shine on.
You are beautiful. You could do anything.
You are beautiful. And sometimes it's okay to get comfortable being uncomfortable and to break out of that shell and to awaken yourself into a community that loves you.
Yes. With that, I want to say thank you all. I hope you have a great day and rest of your week. I love you all. Namaste.
Bye.
You can do your thing if you want.
Stay awake, shine on always. And I'm excited to see you guys in the community that we're building. Comment us.
Oh, yeah.
See you next time. Bye.
Bye-bye.
For many of us, spirituality is just the quest to find essence or true meaning and to really just connect with a higher consciousness.
Connecting with your spirituality is very important in this life. By becoming mindful of all of it, you can realize where you are and if that is leading you to where you want to go.
Listen to the little simple things, because it's those little simple things that are going to shift you vibrationally in such a way that will prepare you to become very intuitively minded and ready to step forward on the next part of your path.
I hope you can feel the love that's inside you, it's inside me, that connects us.
Thanks for shining on with us.